and welcome to another episode of Blue News. I'm your host, Ade Richardson, and I'm so excited to have you here with us today. And today, we are sitting down with Carlos Marlo. Carlos Marlo is a professional fighter with dozens of fights under his belt. He's going to share some of his experience going toe-to-toe with some of the world's most fiercest competitors. So let's go right over to Carlos Marlo.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
I know that you've been really busy promoting your upcoming fight. I watched your interview on the Joe Rogan podcast. Also, I know that you were on the Breakfast Club radio show recently and Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. So let's get right into it. So I thought we'd go into some of your previous fights leading up to this upcoming fight. Let's talk about your fight with Jimmy the Killer. How did you prepare for that fight?
Yeah, I mean, with Jimmy the Killer, I put in the work, and I put in the work. Some of these fighters, they don't want to put in the work. They're lazy. I put in 15 hours in the gym, 15 solid hours in the gym, man.
Wow, that's a lot of preparation.
Man, for this fight, I wanted to make sure I get stronger, and I worked on my speed for hours and hours and hours, man. Man, I watched Jimmy the Killer fights all day. Even when I was in the ring training, I was watching the fights. We had it up on the screen. Man, I studied those fights, man.
Wow, so you studied his previous fights.
Man, for that fight, I knew that Jimmy the Killer, his secret was the left jab. Man, he kept you back and he set you up with that jab, and then the right would come after. So I studied that. I studied my defense. I had my sparring partners. Man, they came into the ring and everybody sparred with me using that left jab, the same technique that Jimmy used. So I trained over and over, hours and hours. Man, I needed to strengthen my jaw. So I had people punch me in the jaw and I just take it over and over and over.
Can you walk us through the actual fight? Can you take us back there?
Man, I remember that fight like it was yesterday, man. I knew that I was in tip-top condition. I was ready. I was confident going into that ring.
What was the results? Did you knock him out or did it go the full 12 rounds?
No, he knocked me out in the third round.
You were knocked out. Oh. So, Carlos, let's revisit a more recent fight, such as your match with Hector the Connector.
I studied Hector like a book. I watched every fight, and I knew he had that dangerous uppercut, man, and we were prepared for that uppercut. I knew that uppercut like the back of my hand.
Yeah, he has that deadly uppercut.
I did most of my training in freezing cold water.
Oh, that's interesting.
Man, I would spend hours in freezing water just so that I would have the endurance and the mental strength to face Hector the Connector. I knew I had to do something different, so I did all of my sparring hanging upside down. Yeah, I was upside down. Man, you have to put in the work. You got to go to any length if you want the results.
So take us back in the ring with Hector and talk us through that fight.
Once I stepped in that ring, man, it was showtime. I was ready. I felt better than I ever did in my whole life. Man, and Hector was doing all the things we had thought he was going to do. Oh. Man, I was so happy that everything was coming together.
Did it go to a decision or did you knock him out?
He knocked me out with an uppercut.
Oh, he knocked you out. Oh. Carlos, let's talk about your last fight with Tony Bear, aka Skater Tony Bear. Now, everyone knows that he's one of the most fierce boxing competitors that there is. So how did you prepare for Tony Bear?
One thing we knew about Tony Bear is we had to prepare for his speed and his strength. And so we did things a little bit differently for this fight. I did a lot of my sparring on the ice rink. I punched a heavy bag while skating on ice. I did my sparring on ice. I did everything on ice.
Oh, well, I never heard that before, on a skating rink.
That way, I knew that I could move around and slip, bob, and weave better than anybody could.
Huh.
Man, I knew we had to train for Tony Bear's strength. So I spent all day in the gym, strength training and having people punch me in the chin. And I also had people punch me in the abs all day. and hit me in the abs with a baseball bat.
Huh.
Man, my body was in tip-top condition. I could take any punishment. I knew that I was ready to go toe-to-toe with Tony Bear, and I studied Tony every day. I knew what he did in the ring, and I even knew what he did out of the ring. I knew what he ate. I knew how he trained, and I came up with a counter for every single thing that he did.
Oh, really?
I was in the best shape of my life.
Huh.
I was so ready for that fight. You gotta put in the work.
Carlos Marlowe, I think we're all eager to hear what it was like being in the ring with Tony Bear.
I heard all the fans cheering for Tony Bear, but it didn't bother me because I put in the work. I was ready to work. I was in the best shape I ever was in my life.
Wow.
I felt calm and cool and strong.
Ah.
And so the bell rang and we tapped gloves. And yeah, that's all I remember for that fight.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess the plan didn't work. So, Carlos Marlowe, your next fight is against Demon Damien, who is known to be very, very dangerous in the ring. He is said to have the most powerful right hook that there is. So, how are you going to prepare for this fight?
I'm so ready for Demon Damien. I feel better than I have in my whole life. I'm in tip-top shape. I know him like a book. I've been studying him every day, so I'm ready for that fight. You're gonna see something special come Saturday. Yeah, you gotta put in the work.